So guys, you could actually look at Bruno, Kohan, and Bryan Mbeumo as one of the best players for Manchester United this season. If you want to actually pick out a standout player for Manchester United this season, you're definitely going to have a lot of contenders for that position. But I feel the most underrated personnel when it comes to the contenders of the best player for Manchester United this season is actually Senne Lammens, because I feel if Manchester United had not replaced Senne Lammens with Andre Onana last season, Manchester United would have currently been struggling this season, because Manchester United had one of their worst finishes in the history of the Premier League with 8 and 15 respectively, with Andre Onana and Bayanda in goal. So Manchester United has actually struggled a lot in terms of the goalkeeping position and the goalkeeping situation, and you could see that even though it is very early in the career of Senne Lammens at Manchester United, you're going to agree with me that he has been very wonderful. He has been doing the basics very rightly, and this is something that we want to see from a Manchester United goalkeeper, knowing when to come out, knowing when to save with the legs, knowing when to save with the hands, knowing when to to time, to position, to come out of the line quickly to try to win those 1v1 battles with the opposition strikers. Senne Lammens has been really wonderful. And you're going to also agree with me that the situation of Manchester United goalkeeping issues has escalated over the past few years, dating back to when David De Gea left Manchester United in 2023. And you're going to agree with me that even before David De Gea left Manchester United, he was going through a lot of transition period. He was making a lot of personal errors. He was having an inability to play from the back because of other modern goalkeepers like Alisson, Edison. They are pushing their team forward. They were giving assists. They were making good contributions as goalkeepers. They were able to play from the back, giving their defenders a lot of ease and making the defense not to panic. But in the case of Manchester United, we have David De Gea, which was fading out, and he was unable to play from the back. And also then we signed Andre Onana when Erik ten Hag came at Manchester United, and he brought Andre Onana back. And of course we expected Andre Onana to have a very wonderful season after keeping at the Champions League finals for Inter Milan and also being one of the best goalkeepers in the Champions League that year. But it turns out that Onana also came, and Manchester United were also facing the same issues. We were struggling. Our defense did not have a lot of confidence in Andre Onana, but you could see that with Senne Lammens in goal, Manchester United has been able to evolve this season and try to solve our goalkeeping situations. So Manchester United actually signed Senne Lammens from Royal Antwerp for £18 million after Manchester United refused the plea of Ruben Amorim to actually sign veteran goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez from Aston Villa. So of course Manchester United, the fans, we all wanted Emiliano Martinez because of his experience winning the World Cup, winning a lot of trophies for Argentina, and also winning the best goalkeeper in the world for 2 straight seasons in a row. So of course we expected Emiliano Martinez. It was Premier League proven, and also getting Senne Lammens was a risk because we of course expected a repeat of what happened with Andre Onana. Also when the gig came newly, he was also shaky, and so this is what Manchester United fans was actually afraid of. But in terms of Senne Lammens, he has been able to revitalize the season of Manchester United. Our defenders are no longer panicking. It's actually good to see a goalkeeper that knows how to do the basic actually very well, and this is something that is very good to see from Manchester United currently. And since the arrival of Senne Lammens, he has been able to prevent the second most goals in the Premier League, and despite not starting the first 6 games of the Premier League, it is actually wonderful to see, because of course we expected him to have a point of integration, a point of adaptation, and he used those 6 games as an experience to actually learn the Premier League, to actually train hard and also come back into the first team. And you could see that ever since he made his debut against Sunderland in October, he has actually not looked back ever since then. He kept a clean sheet on his debut. He was very wonderful for Manchester United. He kept absolutely wonderful, and this is something that, of course, the Manchester United hierarchy, they actually got the signing of Senne Lammens absolutely spot on, because he has been able to provide a long-term reliability and also a long-term service for Manchester United. He has also given Manchester United a calm and reassuring performance in goal, because of course if you had gotten Emiliano Martinez, he would have probably given us like 3 years, but with Senne Lammens the whole situation is different, because it's going to give us a lot of time, and as the season passes by, he's of course going to improve more in Manchester United. And ever since Senne Lammens came into the goal of Manchester United, we have lost only 2 games in the Premier League and 3 games in all competition. That is actually a very wonderful start to see. And even though his career at Manchester United has not really been the fairy tale, has not actually been the best in terms of his positioning, in terms of his handling, and in terms of his ability to come off the line very quickly, but you could agree with me that he has been one of the most crucial players for Manchester United this season. So I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section on what you feel about Senne Lammens. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford. See you guys in my next video.